They told us retirement would be margaritas on the beach. But turns out it's really about arguing what the thermostat's going to be at 10 a.m.
Yeah, the dream was freedom. The reality, you're bored. Your spouse is annoyed at you. And even your cat is looking at you like, haven't you got somewhere to go?
And this is Steph. She calls herself a homebody, but I call her reigning queen of the couch kingdom.
And this is Jim. He thought retirement would be relaxing, but apparently yelling at squirrels is now a full time job.
And
And together,
together,
we're
we're
Unretired
unretired
AF.
AF.
Well, hello and welcome to today's episode of the Unretired AF podcast, the podcast created especially for the over 60 rebellious bunch. And today we're going to be talking about retirement lies. But before we go there, we want to give a shout out to our subscribers. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And if this is your first time here or you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for stopping by. And we hope you will consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. All right, so let's start with the big lie that we were sold. Well, we were told that retirement life was going to be magical. It was going to be golf, travel, unlimited time with the grandkids, hobbies, all of that. But instead, I think a lot of people are finding themselves in retirement, especially after they've been retired for a little while, where they're feeling lonely,
Yeah.
sad, they're feeling restless, and they're wondering, is this all there is?
Right. Right. So it's kind of like buying a car based on the brochure.
Mm.
But what the brochure doesn't tell you is whether it's got good gas mileage,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's got AC,
Right.
whether it's got electric windows or crank windows. They probably don't even have crank windows.
I was like,
I think maybe some
I don't even
trucks.
think the cheaper cars.
I think maybe trucks still do. Like
You can
work
tell it's been a while
trucks.
since we bought a new car.
Yeah, yeah. And it's kind of like when you get there and it's just you and your spouse and you're used to doing stuff. You have these nitpicking arguments that don't mean anything
Right.
except they make each other feel bad.
Right.
So it's just a matter of having to stare down across the kitchen table a lot of times.
Right.
And none of us were told about that.
Well, and I think you're just not prepared for it.
Right.
You're just not prepared for that.
Right.
Well, and once the honeymoon phase is over of retirement, I think that's when the harder part starts.
Yep.
I mean, I think suddenly some people realize, or a lot of people when they retire, it's like their social life is like cut drastically because most of their social interactions came at work.
Yep.
So they don't have that anymore. They don't have any deadlines, so there's no reason to do stuff. And sometimes people don't even have a reason to put pants on before lunchtime. So I think that when you have that loss of purpose, the days can feel really heavy, and then all of a sudden, every weekday feels like a Saturday. Every day feels like a Saturday.
Yeah.
You know how you watch our show, nod your head, and think, man, I wish I could get in on this conversation?
Well, now you can. And not in some dusty Facebook group full of ads.
We just launched the Unretired AF Rebels school community, and it's a private, ad-free hangout where we can actually talk to you.
Right now, it's free to join. Become a founding member. Lock in lifetime free access if you join before November 1st, 2025.
Inside, you'll get behind-the-scenes stuff you'll never see on YouTube, and that's going to include group chats with all of our members, and member-only challenges, and a lot more.
Plus, it's the one place where we can all swap stories, trade bad ideas, and make some new friends who actually get us.
So grab your spot for free until November 1st.
Click the link in the description and join your fellow rebels. So, we all worked with people, we all know people that their whole existence at work was complaining about their boss.
Right.
Well, what happens when their boss goes away?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, they can complain about their wife, but who are they going to complain to?
That's probably what they do.
That's probably what they do. So, a lot of retirees won't admit that they're depressed.
Right.
They'd never admit that they're depressed. By God, I'm retired. I'm living the dream.
Right.
But you can see it on a lot of people. They have no spark.
Right.
It faded away when they didn't have somebody or something to bitch about.
Well, and they probably think there's something wrong with them.
Yeah.
And that's not the way that things are.
Right.
Don't you think? They
Yeah.
probably just think that's why they don't want to talk about
Yeah.
it, because they
Yeah.
think, well, what's wrong with me or whatever.
Right.
Well, and then there is the marriage factor. I mean, it used to be when you were working that you would get a break from your spouse all day long, and you would come home at the end of the day and you would have something to talk about because you
Right.
did stuff, you know. Now you're in the same space constantly, and every little habit or pet peeve, we shall call it, is magnified. I mean, every single thing that your spouse does that annoys you is just magnified. And you don't
Yeah.
mean to. You don't mean to for it to. But it can, especially if you're not used to. Now, Jim and I have worked together a long time, but we also have built into our working together, not working together.
Yeah.
to having our time apart.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, a sign may be if you're both Googling some common things like how to soundproof a room to put away your spouse, or I mean that's cruel to say that, but
Just to get away from them.
just to get away from them.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you still love your spouse, but
Right.
you've just never been this close in this age.
Right.
And I'm not going to say it's tolerance, but a lot of times people just think differently during the day. If you were in a corporate environment, and again, it gets back to bitching about your boss. If you don't have anybody to bitch to, and your wife or significant other does not have an open ear about that, she's like, "What the hell are you bitching about the mailman again for?" I mean,
and that's probably why a lot of these retired people, become grumpy because
Probably.
they don't have an outlet anymore.
Probably.
But here's the good news: it doesn't have to stay that way. Well, and the good news is you don't need a complete overhaul, a complete reinvention, or hours of therapy, couples therapy. Although it's not necessarily a bad idea, but you don't necessarily need that. I mean, sometimes you just need to make some small changes. Pick up a new hobby, try do something new, join a group, even start doing some volunteering. Just something to get you out of the house.
Yeah.
And to get you thinking about other things besides just complaining, because that seems to be what we do when we're bored.
Yeah. And for the love of sanity, schedule some time apart from each other. Your spouse will thank you. Definitely.
We're going to briefly interrupt your program to tell you about something that we think you'll like. Jim and I have been using Stir Water Enhancer for about 2 years now. And what we really like about it is it's stevia sweetened, doesn't have any artificial sweeteners in it, and it also has natural flavors and no artificial dyes.
So here's a deal for you. Go to stirrdrinks.com/unretiredaf15 to save 15% off your next order.
And now back to our show.
Find reasons to leave the house. Even if you just have to go walk around Home Depot. Do Home Depot one day and Lowe's the next day and Walmart the third day. Hell, I don't know.
There you go.
But
good exercise too.
Yeah, don't let it bottle up. Just do it.
Yeah.
When you were working, she was used to, and you were used to being gone for probably at least 8 hours. And then all of a sudden you're not. It's like, man, who is this dude?
Right.
Help me out, Lord Jesus.
and not only are you not working, and so you're not having things to talk about because you're not having a lot of activities in the day, but you're spending a lot of time with someone else in the same boat.
Yeah. So don't 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 feel like you're weak for having
Right.
admitting that you're struggling.
Right.
Hell, you're human. It's just one of those things that your brain unfortunately has been programmed to act in work mode during work. So, you got to just change. You got to just change, leave, do some fun stuff.
Right.
Even if she doesn't, well, do it by yourself.
Right.
Let her do her thing. You do your thing. Meet
Right.
for dinner.
Right. Well, and I don't think there's anything wrong with therapy. I mean, I know I was joking about it a minute ago or whatever, but if it's serious, if it's to the
Yeah.
point where you really feel like, because there's a pretty high divorce rate in the retired group, which you wouldn't really think of, but
Yeah.
there is. So if it gets to be something serious, seriously, go talk to somebody. Because honestly, it's probably something that's not even a hard fix.
Probably not.
Well, the takeaway from today's episode is the retirement dream that we were sold was a lie. It was never a reality ever. Maybe for a few generations ago, but certainly not for us. But that doesn't mean that your life is over just because it's going to be maybe a little different than what you
Right.
were thinking it was going to be. Maybe consider unretirement. I mean, that's what Jim and I have done. And loneliness, sadness, all that stuff loses its grip when you stay busy. You re-engage your brain,
Absolutely.
re-engage your life, and become unretired. We would encourage you to become an unretired rebel like us.
There you go. There you go. Um, you know, don't expect the brochure version of retirement because it doesn't exist. Create the version that works for you. Um, the best way to do that is to stay busy, stay connected, and for God's sake, stay out of each other's way once in a while. Give her space, you take space. So, you know, we have a comment section. If you have any comments on this, if you found the secret sauce that makes all this work and you're just happier than you can be than you ever were when you were working and you're staying out of each other, share it. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear what you're doing that a lot of people aren't.
Yeah.
So please drop us something in the comments and we'll make sure we answer it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And if our channel is resonating with you, if you like our content, if you can relate to it, please consider hitting that subscribe button and joining the Unretired AF revolution. Well, we're not slowing down.
And neither should you.
And together, we're Unretired AF.